frame? I think so. Yeah, that looks about right. Sneaker of the year to some people, top 10 to a lot of people, top 5 even. I'm not too sure yet. It's definitely in the top 10. I just don't know where it is just yet. But we've got to talk. We've got to see what's inside this box. You know what's inside this box. I just wish they made all Jordan 1 lows this shape. Like, can we just, I don't know, do a petition or something? But cat's out the bag, hair's off the line. Hey, you know what it is. It's the low Chicago Jordan 1. What's a beauty, man. The only problem I'm having with this shoe is the laces that I'm going for. I'm leaning more to white because in my lost and founds, I've got the black. But the black still works and looks really, really good. But I think white might be the chicken dinner. Let me know, broskies, which one you're going for out of these two. Jordan 1 Low Chicago. Retroing for the first time since 2016. Madness. And the fact that they're this good, they're that accessible, so easy to get. They're sitting on shelves, they're sitting online. You can get 2 free pairs if you wanted to. What a great time to be a sneakerhead. Chicago. This colorway to this shoe is arguably the most iconic ever out of everything, okay? Without this shoe, without this colorway, who knows where like sneaker culture would be. I know the breads, yep, that's pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But for me, Chicago, that's where the real money is. Before we get into the meat and potatoes though, let's start off with the box, get that out of the way because yeah, there's nothing special, not a lost and found box, not a black toe even. That was a pretty cool box. The product sticker though does say Air Jordan 1 Retro Low OG and the official colorway is Varsity Red, Black and Summit White. Summit White, the summit of white, white, summit white. That sounds like a good 80s song. I just want to wear them, bro. I just want to wear them. I'm going to get the nitpick out of the way, but across the board, there's not many complaints with this shoe. There are a couple though, like QC. And yes, when a brand like Nike do mass produce a shoe, looks like anyway, of this level, like thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands probably, the QC can be off. Now, when I first opened the box and saw this pair, I was like, whoa, who pulled out the glue gun in DT, art and design class, whatever, because along where the midsole meets the upper, there was a lot of stringy glue. And I was like, what is going on? Luckily though, glue rubber, you know, just wiped it off and I picked it off, it was fine. However, I have seen some horror stories like Killswitch in the Discord sharing his story where he had to send his pair back and get another one. And luckily, these are so readily available, you can do that. Like imagine this shoe was selling out and that was the case. You'd be so upset, you know? Just wanted to get that out of the way. That's probably the only negative. I think, yeah, it is the only negative with this shoe, with this release. QC, not like shocking, but it can be. If you can, go in store, check your pair, walk out happy rather than ordering online. And then it's like a lottery, you know, a potluck. But yeah, let's get sizing out of the way too, because the biggest question that I seem to get when a Jordan 1 Low drops, whatever shape it is, OG cut, retros, whatever it is, what sizing do you go with? Do you go half a size down? Do you go true to size? Do you go a size up if you're a maniac? For me, I don't think I've been as confused with a Jordan 1 Low like this one. Like I went half a size down and I don't have that many complaints. Like I could easily rock these, like no problem. But I just feel because the toe box is sort of, it feels thicker to me. Like most people might not even notice, but it feels thicker, it feels more rounded. I just kind of am curious if I went true to size, would that solve the problem of my toe not feeling a little suffocated? On the other hand, with Jordan 1 Lows, normally when I go true to size, like the mockers, there's a bit of heel slippage. Unless I'm strangling them where I've tied it all the way up to the top, there's a bit of a problem. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same with these because I went half a size down and I can wear them. They're fine. Honestly, I genuinely think if you go half a size down, you'll be perfectly fine. Whatever sizing you go with an OG cut to a Jordan 1, yeah, I think you'll be all good. But if your only option was true to size, then again, I still think you'll be all good there. So yeah, broskies, what else does it come with? Of course, it comes with the spare laces. We've spoken about that already. And whatever sort of lace option you go with, it does slightly transform the shoe because you go white on white, looks great, looks a bit more classy, a bit more dressy. But if you go black on white with the white tongue, it kind of contrasts nicely with the Nike swoosh. So there's that double-edged sword of which one do you go for? Maybe double up and just keep one pair black, one pair white, or depending on the occasion, you could always switch up the laces too. You know, you do have that option, which is cool. But look, let's go around this shoe. Let's see what this shape has changed. What's different? What's the cut of the Nike swoosh saying? All that good stuff. Let's go there because, yeah, a lot of sneakerheads are loving this shoe for the right reasons because, man, it's beautiful. So it does look like another strong year to this shoe, and rightly so. When they're bringing cuts like this out and OG colorways and retros and shapes, it's a beautiful time. But yeah, let's start off with the Nike swoosh. I mean, a lot of people have been talking, a lot of people are loving this, and I've got to say, I'm right there too. It's enlarged, it looks smoother, it looks very retro, you know, from the 80s, the 90s. Mini Nike swooshes, as much as I love them, it does get a bit boring. Like, give us a massive Nike swoosh and I'll be on my way. So yeah, even if I compare it to these with the Lost and Founds, you can defo see the difference. It's got more of a curvature, it's enlarged, it just looks better. I know it's subtle, but it's kind of that thing of if you know, you know. And yeah, we know. Now, another popular thing is the shape. A lot of people are loving, and so am I. I mean, it just looks so good, doesn't it? And I think the more slender shape and sort of cut down design just works wonders, especially with this colorway. Defo gives it more of a nostalgic retro feel to this shoe. Now, one of the things us sneaker Karens like to moan about is the quality of materials. And I've got to say, I'm happy to say too, the leather's really good, especially when it comes to the overlays. Like, it's not mad buttery, it's not super smooth, it's not like if you touch it, it creases, but it kind of does at the same time. It's giving me Lost and Found vibes, so if you got that shoe or know about that shoe in terms of quality, then yeah, it's pretty much the same, and I actually like it. Now, I say all that because other mass-produced sneakers, you know, they do seem to sort of scrimp on quality, and we've seen it with the white cement 4s. That leather, can you even call it that? Because it was horrific. So yeah, leather wise, it's actually pretty decent. Underlays though, that's a different story. But at the same time, I'm not complaining too much, you know? Now, on the tongue, of course, it's white, but on the top, you've got the Nike Air branding with the red and white. Some people wanted it white and red. Some people wanted it black and red. And to be fair, this actually works. So yeah, for me, looks good. And then you got the white with the red branding inside on the insole. And again, it works. I mean, you're not really going to see it, so it's not really that deep. But towards the back though, we've got the Air Jordan branding. Don't you just love this? The Air Jordan Wings logo. Now, it doesn't look like it's embossed or even debossed. It just looks like it's printed on. Now, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, it looks good though. Now, one thing I am glad that they stuck with the white midsole here. I think if they went with that sort of age look, you know, very similar to the Lost and Found, I think it would have lost its charm. And again, it's the same with the outsole. You know, there's no talcum powder, there's no age look. It's just red, it's OG, and yeah, I love it. Man, oh man, what a time to be alive though, isn't it? As a sneakerhead, as a real sneakerhead, you know, not just a TikTok sneakerhead where you're following trends and fashions and whatever, you can buy these and no one cares. Like, only sneakerheads appreciate this shoe, let's be honest, and it's great. You know, you wanna wear them into the ground, buy another pair or two and do exactly the same too. But broskies, I need your help. I know the answer already. I can see you typing with them sausage fingers telling me how much you love this shoe, and I'm with you. But protocol's protocol, bruh. We're over here, the playlist is called Buy or Buy, so I need your input. Are these, the Jordan 1 Low, Chicago, a buy or a buy? Now, once all the dust is settled, with all the hype sneakers coming out, with all the banging Air Max 95s to drop to, you know, we've had sneakers from the vault that people are saying shouldn't come back and this and that. But when sneakers like this drop, it's hard to not feel a type of way, whether it's nostalgia, getting the pair from 2016, or watching MJ way back when, or the fact that this is your first Jordan 1 Low Chicago. Like me, you're buzzing, you know? I've had a couple highs. I've got the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Lost and Founds, but there's just something about a low cut Jordan 1. And when they get it right, when they get the shape right, the colorway, and they've done both on this, I think it's a special thing. Yes, if you're wearing baggy trousers, you can't even tell what cut it is. So that's an advantage and disadvantage, whichever way you're looking at it. But in summer, with shorts, these will be banging, because I've been wearing the Nigels a ton, and as much as I love that colorway, love that shoe, there's nothing like a Chicago, let's be honest. And I'm an Air Max guy, but you just can't help but love this shoe. And I'm just happy that people are getting pairs. They're doubling up, and it's like Christmas has come early. you know, and it feels like that because just look at it, bruh. It's amazing. And yeah, I guess the only asterisk is QC. Like if it's bad, it will be bad. But if it's good, you're going to be happy as Larry, you know. Go in store, like I said, you should be all good. If you get them online, just pray, man. Fingers and toes crossed, you know. But yes, broskies, you know my answer. You know where I'm going. This iconic shoe, one of the best in my opinion, is indeed an absolute. But leave all your thoughts and opinions down below. Is this a colorway you needed in the collection? Is this one that you doubled up or even tripled up on? Or do you have a pair from 2016 that you're still rocking and gave these a miss? Let me know down below. Thank you, broskies, for your patience. Thank you for your love as well. The amount of comments and people reaching out to me, like congratulating me with the work with Nike, and yeah, content has been amazing, man. I really do appreciate everyone. I will get to comments, like I'm still recovering from this cold, as you can tell and hear, but we're getting there. We are a lot better, and I'll get to everyone. Like I'll make sure I comment and reply to everyone. There was one more thing. Oh yes, we are doing over at the Tripled Up podcast. Shout out to the boys, Scott and Prozek. We're doing a list combined with you guys. So we want your input. We want your whole top 10 and honorable mentions and like sneakers that aren't as hyped, like a GR that banged for you. I'm gonna leave a link to a form, a Google Doc down below. Fill it out, put your Instagram in. We'll try and do shout outs. We'll try and credit everyone. And we're gonna compile a list that has the input from you guys. So yeah, fill it out, give yourself all the time you need, but it will help us out a lot. And yeah, I think it's time real sneakerheads on real platforms gave the voice and opinions to everyone, not just, you know, certain platforms that are just mentioning shoes no one cares about, really. No one gives a toss. But yeah, it's time we take over, bruh. It's time we start doing things for ourselves. But anyways, broskies, that's enough waffle. I'm out of breath. I'm dribbling. I don't know why, but here we are. Do all of the other good stuff for me, please, though, on your way out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And of course, until the next episode, take care.